This is my tan voice.
Yeah, it's darker. I didn't know if I can say that. All right, so we're going to hear this back right now.
Can I have one of the folding chairs?
Can she have a folding chair, please?
That's behind the scenes.
And do you even know this
I
song?
don't.
All
I
right,
don't.
I'll play it more. Welcome, everybody. We're doing a little mic check here. And the deal is?
Do I sound different now? This is my tan voice.
Yeah, it's darker. I didn't know if I can say that. All right, so we're going to hear this back. Oh, we have a good time. All right, so we'll play one of these ditties. I just slapped this together this morning. I don't know if it's so great. Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
It feels like forever, doesn't
It
it?
does feel like forever. I was going to ask you if you felt a little bit nervous.
We went to, where did we go?
We went to the Podfest Expo in Orlando.
Yeah. And so we didn't do a Friday show. We said...
Multimedia
That's
Expo.
right. Oh, there's so much media.
Yeah.
And we said, check out over the weekend our other podcast, My Opening Line. So there wasn't a Keith and the Girl show Friday or Monday, and it does feel like forever.
It's only like 1 or 2 more days.
Right.
But
so much to cover. Where do I start? The great Kylie Jenner is the youngest self-made billionaire, and we didn't get to talk about it.
Kylie Jenner.
One of the Jenners, one of the Kardashians, 21 years old, self-made billionaire. Good for her. She hunkered down.
What does self-made mean? I think I need a dictionary.
Yeah.
Like she just did that.
Yeah, she did it all herself. Self-made billionaire.
She's got to write a book because this is like crazy.
Look, okay. Did Mark Zuckerberg do that? Yeah, but he was 23, not 21.
So separately, all these Jenners have different billions?
Yes. They're all self-made separately.
I cannot tell you what they do for a living.
It has nothing...
They have butts for a living?
It has nothing to do with the main one fucking a celebrity.
Remember when that was even like, you can bat an eye to that?
Yeah.
Remember when that was like, wow, your nakedness is out on the internet and it actually made a difference to anybody?
Right.
Yeah, now you can't just like blow someone on camera and get a show.
Those were the days.
Seriously. Now that's just a thirst trap on Instagram.
If I see Kim...
With a bar over like a little piece of the dick.
Right.
We're good. Safe for work now.
I picture Kim Kardashian at some kind of convention and be like, it was a different time, but what we did back then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because at all these conventions, everybody asks you, because we're like the veterans over there, right? We're the longest running in the whole convention pretty much. And so they ask you, like, what made you start? How did you start? How did you get your foot in the door? We totally blew someone on camera.
Well, I was
back when it mattered.
I was dating R&B superstar Ray J. You see,
you know him.
Laughable.
What's funny is that she went down in history blowing him, and then in turn now she's making him famous. Like,
right?
He was the famous one at first, in quotes.
Does she laugh at herself? Like, isn't life funny?
Yeah, aren't blowjobs the best? I knew I was giving blowjobs for a reason. I know that.
I was going to say this: Laughable.com. It's how you find out every show that we're on. Okay, it's a free app. And anytime you subscribe to the person as opposed to
the show,
which you can do also, but anytime myself or Henda is on a show.
Like if we're guesting on somebody else's podcast.
You'll find out automatically.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Like you can subscribe to our show, and you should be, and you can subscribe to My Opening Line. But if we guest on, for example,
the comic Sean McCarthy has a show called Last Things First. And he interviews some big names, and we're honored to be on the list.
Yeah, he had us. He interviewed us for our 14-year anniversary, which we celebrated in this past week as well. And we're going to be celebrating again because normally Keith and I go to like a too expensive dinner.
Right.
That's how I qualify. It's too expensive.
Right.
We go to too expensive dinner, and we laugh at ourselves for not knowing how to behave in pleasant company.
Sean says, it's the 250th episode of Last Things First with my guest who have made so many thousands more podcast episodes than me over the past 14 years. So you can see it right there. Go to laughable.com. Subscribe to us. You'll see everything. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Come on.
That's our new way of making anyone do anything anymore. Come on.
We got a little shout out on Mark Maron's podcast, WTF.
You had just started to go on quite a few of them. Like,
is that true?
Keith and the Girl you went on out in Queens.
Well, but I didn't see, like, that's weird with Keith and the Girl because I didn't really know, I didn't frame that as a podcast. I don't think I knew they were doing some version of radio out of their own place.
Right.
And that it was popular somehow.
Right.
I didn't know how people were getting it. I think they had a video element.
Right.
But when I went out there, I went all the way out to wherever it was in Queens somewhere.
It was far.
And it was close to Long Island.
It was so far. No, it was close to Long Island for like city folks that we are now, but yeah.
Out there, I went all the way out to wherever it was in Queens somewhere.
Yeah.
And they had the whole setup going, and they explained to me what they were doing. And I'm like, we got to be doing this.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's basically, okay, so I met Mark Maron, I think the night before he came to our place. So he didn't know me, I didn't know him, and we actually got into an argument on the street in the West Village. A Mark Maron argument. Like, we both love arguing. We just, like, he wouldn't stop. But, like, he's walking away from me, yelling back the other argument. I'm like, you're seeing me tomorrow on the show. We'll talk about it. But we're talking about, like, Dane Cook and stealing and, like, all this kind of stuff. He just met me.
He was sincerely saying that Joe Rogan is a bigger sellout piece of shit for doing Fear Factor than Dane Cook is stealing jokes.
I sort of remember that. And we did talk about it on the show when he was on. And so I was like, I have this podcast. He had no idea what I was talking about, but super open to everything. And oh my God, I cannot believe who came to that old studio. This studio was so far because not only was that like basically the end of a train ride, it was you get out and I don't even know how to begin to tell you directions. You got to walk like a half a mile, you know, and it's like sort of suburbs. You got to cross over a highway. If you go the wrong way, you're now going an extra mile. Like, I don't know.
It's fancy because we pick you up, but we have to pick you up.
Yeah, the first time a comic would come on, I would pick him up and be like, okay, see, when you walk next time, look for this. And I'm basically showing them how to walk. Anyway, he came over. He could not believe what was in the room. And he still didn't understand even after he was on. But what happened was, and this is how this show got big, our audience didn't know who Mark Maron was. Like every comic we knew who he was, and he has so much kudos and credit, and he had a huge following, but our audience happened to not know. So we introduced them, and then you guys responded big, and then me and Mark Maron wrote back to each other, what is this podcast and how could I do it? And then he started his podcast like a couple weeks later. So, yeah, I don't think he knew we were a podcast because he didn't know what podcasting was.
Right. You're right.
That was his first one. And at the time, he was sneaking into his old studio in the middle of the night to record his show. Mm-hmm. So this was like super illuminating.
Yeah. By the way, what are you giving up for Lent? It's Lent right now.
Sex. Can I not?
We'll get to that, folks. Don't you worry. Maybe you got your ashes, listener, on your forehead like a jerk-off walking around all day. I love God the most. Do you know that They have.
I forgot that Ash Wednesday.
It's so stupid. You're a child. Please, can I have?
But do you have to? I always thought God wants you to leave it on all day, or it's like part of it. Are you supposed to keep it on for like 12 hours?
John 3:16.
You're supposed to keep it on for 3 hours and 16 minutes. Is that what 3:16 is?
If you can't easily explain why you have ashes on your face, don't put them on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like what's that? What part of the Bible is that from? If you don't know, don't do it.
I used to do Jewish traditions even after I was an atheist, just for traditional reasons. And people would ask me, like, I would keep, for a second, I kept Passover. That went away pretty fast. But for a while, I kept Yom Kippur, which is the fast for 24 hours. And when people asked, I said, I really like the idea of a fasting day, like of a no television, no nothing. Now I just do it and I call it a retreat. So, but I would do it. It was very cleansing, and it's nice that people like expect you to not pick up the phone because I look so Jewy. Right. So I can get away with like having a day off. Maybe that's why all these Jews are doing it. Please leave me alone, God said.
Churches are doing. They come to your car. I'm not exaggerating. They will. You can drive through, get the ashes, and move on.
Oh, they're learning from the Jews. You know how like when you walk down the streets of New York, a Jew might ask you if you're Jewish,
right? And
then he'll bless you.
Oh, yeah?
Well, he'll do like whatever. Yeah, they're asking you if you're Jewish, and then they'll take you into their weirdo van and like do whatever's supposed to happen on that day. That's what I understand. I always say I'm not Jewish, and then they look at me funny like, you motherfucker. And I'm like, no, I don't even know.
Did you see any of the R. Kelly interview with Gayle King?
You showed me a clip where he starts getting up, and it almost looks like he's going to throw her over.
That's the thing with these liars and egotists. How do you get them in the first place to do an interview? And they think, I can talk my way out of this. It's unnecessary. The courts don't make you do an interview. You don't have to do it. It can only come off bad. But you're so into yourself that you know you can explain it away. And he's very dramatic. Oh, okay, so I have girls in my basement and I'm raping them, and then I guess I'm raping you? This whole thing is ridiculous. Oh, so I saw off their bones and I use it as toothpicks? This is ridiculous. No, nobody said that stuff. That's how liars lie.
I never noticed that until you started pointing it out, and even still, it took me such a long time, because to me, if somebody accused me of this stuff, I would be like, how? In the basement? Like, it would overwhelm me. So he's acting like he's overwhelmed. Yeah. But the thing is when it really happens, I don't think you get overwhelmed in that way. You sort of get like actually overwhelmed where you just, I don't, this is more of a response. Yeah, I can't imagine you accused me of child molestation and I want to I want to be under the table, not throw it over.
So you're telling me I walk into a woman's battered shelter and I beat them in the face? Like, this is crazy. No, nobody said that, R. Kelly. Oh.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's very specific to liars.
It absolutely is.
It is very specific.
You know, when we talked about Pat Dixon on our show, being a sexual creep to people, he's like, oh, watch out. Apparently I rape everybody everywhere I go. No, that's not what I said. I specifically said the sexual predatory stuff that you do. Oh, so careful. I guess I just raped your mother. No, I didn't say that. That's how liars lie.
It's weird. Like, every time you say that, I'm like, but do I do that even when I'm not lying?
No.
I guess not. It's just weird, but it is that historical thing. If it's hysterical, it's historical. Why are you getting so mad?
Right.
But then, okay, see, this is where my brain goes. For years, he's had to answer to the public about, Kelly. Yeah. So if he is innocent for years, he would have, accumulated this heat. Okay. I'm just saying, could it, like, yes, liars lie that way, but do innocent people react that way at all ever?
Sounds good.
I know he's not, but you know what I mean? Like, is it 100%? You know what I mean?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, somebody wrote me and said, oh, you were talking about Michael Jackson. How come what's taken so long for people to know he's a pedophile? And
you're right.
Like, the FBI didn't have enough proof, Keith. Where I'm like, let me tell you something. I didn't even see the documentary. Fascinating stuff. Send. That's what I tweeted back to this guy.
And you never get nervous that you're wrong, and
then I'll say I'm wrong. But no, I'm not wrong about Michael Jackson. I'm certainly not wrong about R. Kelly. I wasn't wrong about Cosby. Who's and this isn't as deep, but who's that bicyclist? Lance Armstrong. And it's like, yeah, it's clear that he's doping up Keith, there's not enough. Well, then wait it out. And by the way, where are my apologies when I'm right? Where are my apologies? Not one person who said I was an asshole and wrong about Lance Armstrong. When Lance finally admitted it, not one of these people said, oh, shit, you were right.
Oh, it's hard to be mad at Lance because I'm like, I don't dope up. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I don't get so much drama around this. Go ride your bike on some dope. I don't give a shit.
It's just a shame if you have a kid. To be the best in any sport, you have to cheat.
No,
you have to.
I get that. I'm not saying change the rules so everybody can dope up. I'm saying everybody's doped up and you made this guy a mark.
Right.
So, okay. Yes, he is doped up, but good call.
You know, I didn't like when I found out Lance only had one ball. I'm like, well, that's going to speed you up. Now I got to get rid of a ball.
You think it's more aerodynamic?
Yes, of course it is.
So you think like women have an easier time or like female?
Yes, I do. Well, I don't know. Maybe the vagina picks up wind. I don't know.
It goes like in the hole a little, like goes out.
But if every milli-inch matters, then your testicles matter.
You guys should tape down.
Right.
Do everything you can. Shave, tape down.
Alex Trebek announced that he has cancer. And...
Of course, he does it in the most suave way possible.
Oh, that cadence of his. It
should have been like a Jeopardy question. And he goes, what is cancer?
Right. I have it. Marge, your turn.
Hi, everyone. I have some news to share with all of you, and it's in keeping with my longtime policy of being open and transparent with our Jeopardy fan base.
I didn't know he was that transparent.
Name one thing you know about Alex Trebek.
What do I know at all about him? He knows how to pronounce foreign words like foreign words.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last month, I told you how I cheated on my second wife. Today, I'm going to be even more transparent.
Is he married? Does he have kids?
He has
How much money does he make?
Right. You don't know anything about him.
I don't think Siri knows anything about him.
Not only don't I know anything about him, I don't know how to play the fucking game.
The other day, I got something right. Oh, I rode that for like the rest of the show.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was on.
Yeah. When I get the question...
The answer was high times.
Right. Of course the answer was high times. Penda says hi for everyone, and this one matched. No, I don't know if they're looking for a place or a person. If I get it wrong, but the contestant gets it wrong the exact same answer, I'm like...
I feel so smart.
It counts.
It so counts.
Yeah.
I wanted to prevent you from reading or hearing some overblown or inaccurate reports regarding my health. So therefore, I wanted to be the one to pass along this information. Now...
This is the most sweet-sounding robot I've ever heard.
Right.
They've perfected it to like, they're just 99%.
Do you think he talks like this in real life?
In the bedroom.
And I need you to bend over.
Right. What is butt sex?
50,000 other people in the United States each year. This week, I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
He's just like me.
Now, normally, the prognosis for this is not very encouraging, but I'm going to fight this, and I'm going to keep working, and with the love and support of my family and friends, and with the help of your prayers also, I plan to beat...
And their thoughts.
And our thoughts. Okay.
Friends, and with the help of your prayers also, I plan to beat the low survival rate statistics for this disease.
Yeah, throw money at it, Alex.
Now, to me, I'd be like, look, I'm kind of going to give up. I'm going to keep doing the show. This is stage 4. That is the worst.
That's the final stage.
Right. There's not a stage 5.
No, that's death.
So I'm going to keep doing the show. But if I get like tired and stuff, I'm going to bed. Okay? Thank you. If my face looks a little off, now you know why. Okay. I promise I'll still be as smug as if I know every answer, as I've always been. But you should know I'm not going to try too hard. I have money. The doctors will try hard. What am I going to do? I'm not even going to have more cabbage. Anyway, we'll be on right after Wheel of Fortune. Can you imagine Pat Sajak is still walking around with that stupid wheel? I'm the smart one.
Look at my Wheel of Fortune. I get cancer and he fucking spins a wheel.
You turned the letter over, Vanna.
Oh.
We don't have technology for the letter to just appear.
Your contestants don't even know that Y is a vowel sometimes.
Truth told, I have to, because under the terms of my contract, I have to host Jeopardy for 3 more years.
That's cute.
So help me keep the faith and we'll win. We'll get it done.
I wonder if it's multiple takes. And he's like, keep the faith. Fuck! Fuck! Keep the faith.
Honestly, though, that was one of the most beautiful announcements. And
Right.
if we weren't so sarcastic, that would have, like, really got me.
Mm-hmm.
It was very moving.
It was very moving.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the convention.
Yeah, we're done with you, Alex.
Well, what am I going to do?
Thank you, next.
Follow his life?
Thought I knew about Alex.
Him and I shared a hotel room.
Don't tell everyone.
Well,
I'm celibate.
in case the pictures get out, I want to take control of it like Alex.
We are so comfortable and such weirdos when we share a room.
Like,
I don't know if you noticed, but you check with me every single time before you come back in twice so
Thank
that
you.
I'm not masturbating.
that's right. You hear that, Kyle? I want to be clear.
It's like the most polite, sweet, weirdo fucking thing. It's like you text me and I text back and you still knock on the door and I'm like, come in. And you slowly open the door. I'm like, I am not masturbating.
But who knows? I mean, you could be changing your shirt. I
That's
don't
what
know.
you say every time. You're like, I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm just, or you exaggerated so much. Like, you called me the other day. We're not even sharing a hotel room anymore, but you know I'm in a hotel room.
Right.
And I pick up the phone and you go, I don't know if it's a bad time, if you're doing things. I'm like, I'm not masturbating.
I follow your Twitter.
I would not pick up the phone. You're like, I just want to give you your spit. What the fuck?
Here's Kenda's Twitter account. I'm looking at one right now. Keith just left the hotel room. Sex time.
I gave you a heads up.
You gave everybody a heads up.
Yes, I
You
did.
little pervert. Did you
Every time you left the room, I'm like, shit, am I horny?
Right.
You got to get it out. I mean, I know you're doing it too.
No, I didn't.
You did not masturbate one time.
No.
In the 3 days that we were down there together.
No.
Oh, it's the first time in my life that I'm done talking. I'm just done.
And goodbye.
Just, what? Who are you? What?
I don't know.
What's happening? You're saving it to make the fourth baby? You didn't come once.
No.
Is that why you ate so much?
Yeah. What is it about hotels? You just keep, it's like camping. You get
true.
so hungry.
I know. I got so sick.
Now, I did see Kenda's MeUndies. We're right there on the floor by her bed. They're the softest underwear ever. I love them. Softer than cotton. 3 times softer than cotton, these MeUndies. I'll tell you about them right now.
It was weird that you picked them up and touched them, but I get it.
They're so soft. Sorry, Kyle. Get 15% off your first pair of MeUndies. Free shipping, 100% satisfaction guarantee. You go to MeUndies.com/KATG. That's MeUndies.com/KATG.
It was funny when you were like, oh, those MeUndies on the ground?
Right.
Yes.
You can tell they're
But they were on the other side of the bed, so it's not like you should see them.
right. Now there's
They're on the me side of the bed.
I'll put a nice amount of pictures at KeithAndTheGirl.com for today's
What?
episode.
Why are you taking pictures in a hotel room?
I take pictures in the airport. Kenda's getting patted down because she has her leg brace. So I started taking pictures.
Wow, they really feel you up on that.
Yeah.
They are in you.
See, that's what got you excited. Of course you had to masturbate later.
Oh, Lord.
They look at me. They're like, sir, you can't be taking pictures. Okay, sounds good.
Right. Yeah, what else can't I do? I just
Okay.
passed weed through your fucking detectors.
Hemda eating in bed. I have some pictures of that.
That's rude. That I'm a monster. That is my monster hotelness. You're fucked up. You're so fucked up.
You can see it on camera now, but we'll put these up.
You're the worst picture taker.
Well, I'll tell you what. I did fall for a lot of Hemda's thirst traps. Oh, look, a mirror. Send.
I caught some good light.
Yeah. Out there trapping, right?
Yeah. Wear a bathing suit.
Doug writes, yep, fell for your trap. And then 2 seconds later, the emoji with the hearts in the eyes.
Yeah,
So
took him 2 minutes.
So you know he's out there getting her done. So we got there on Thursday.
Yeah, so that's the only response I want to my thirst traps. Just write the time.
Does it make you happy? Like, okay,
I
this
know
guy
I know what
jerked
I'm doing and I know what they're doing. So we've an agreement,
Right,
but that's not the way to slide into the DMs. That's the way to have fun. I'll react to you,
right.
but
Yeah.
you know.
But you don't owe me $20. This isn't cheating or having sex, right?
No. Oh, is it? No, because
No.
I don't think so.
Okay. Just checking. Just seeing if I win. 3 more months, right?
3 more months. I'm good.
Okay. All right. There's a reason I had to keep checking every time I came in the room, but all right.
But I always masturbate a lot.
On the way there, you ended up getting a middle seat with that leg of yours.
Oof.
Was that rough?
Nobody gives a shit about my leg in the airport.
Right.
Not a moment of care. Like, nobody even went, how will your leg fit in there? They're just like, you moving over? Okay. I mean, I don't know what there is to say. You know, you're in an airport. You're in an airplane. So, you know, fuck me for not getting the right seat or 2 seats or whatever.
Right.
But it was just uncomfortable for 3 hours.
When we got the first day of the convention, they put you at a table with strangers, and then they move you around so that you're saying hi to different people.
Oh, yeah. It was like, actually, I really like this kind of stuff because it's so hard to meet people. And, you know, you're supposed to walk up to people, and that's nice. So they kind of set up this meet and greet where, like, every 8 or 10 minutes, they switch your tables.
Right.
Yeah.
I felt kind of weird because people are saying how they're thinking of starting a podcast.
Yeah.
They don't know what. They just started a podcast. They're about to put their first episode, and then they're like, and what about you? Like, well, we're the most prolific here. Hi. Yeah, I don't know what to say, you know? We invented podcasting, and we want to see what you guys are doing with it. Okay.
It is different, though. We were somehow like the bad boys of media because it was like a real... I forget the podcasting, you know, we're sitting at a table where it's like, I produce a podcast. I'm like, what? And then what? What else do you do? Because, you know, now podcasting is several jobs. So it's like, oh, I book a podcast. I produce a podcast. I engineer one. I have a recording thing for podcasts. And I'm like, oh, what do we do? All the jobs of everybody on this table because we're still DIYing. And also, people are now going into, they're taking it so seriously. They want ads right away and things like that. So they're forgetting that in podcasts, you could say whatever the fuck you want. So we get on stage, and I'm not taking, I mean, I take everything I do on stage seriously, but I'm not, these questions like, what made you start? And people start giving their buttoned up answers. Mm-hmm. This is podcasting. Throw a little shit in it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do feel like I don't know, just by talking, we offended some.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad.
Otherwise stuffy business people, right?
Yeah, but you know what's fun is because we were on stage and a couple times, and a lot of people didn't know us in the audience.
Right.
And they're different ages and from different places, and we're not safe for work usually, but we're still throwing out the same jokes. And then you see people. We walked one person. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm glad. I'm like, okay, we should offend somebody.
Right. Well, and the things we didn't say.
Oh, but the thing is then I see people laughing, and because, you know, it's a space like podcasting, I'm like, I saw you. I point them out. I'm like, I saw you laugh, and I want you to know that it's okay. We're all perverts in here.
Right. We did our live show, and then the next day we were on a panel, comedy and podcasting, and I wanted to say, all right, look to the person on your left. Look to the person on your right. You will all fail.
Welcome to podcasting.
Right. Welcome to podcasting. We ended up, so we did the panel on comedy and podcasting. Then somebody asked us to be on their show, their podcast. They had a little.
Now this is when people ask Keith to be on their show. You forget that you can go, let me speak to my partner.
Instead of what? Just saying yes?
Yeah, sure. What? And then you're like, oh, we're gonna be on someone's podcast. I'm like, what's their name?
Yeah. Well, I'm like, what could it be? A KKK podcast? All right, we'll do it. Well, it turns out it was a KKK podcast. They have like a little booth set up. People can, you know, sign up and rent the space. And
for free. It's just use the space, yeah.
So he did that, and somehow it gets to him to being Jewish pretty fast. And he says, I know how to speak Yiddish. Like, you go around, you see these svatzas. And I'm like, whoa, the fuck?
That's the N-word.
Yeah, where am I? No, okay, we got to go. Goodbye.
Yeah, I was like, oh. What did I say? I was like, okay, you get one.
Right. And then
he doubled down.
Yeah. And then at the end, he's like, oh, so I don't know why I said that weird beginning. Okay.
And then he said the Yiddish word for
gay.
Yeah, but the derogatory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're on a roll. And then Kenda excused us. She's like, okay, well, it was great to be here. Looks like your time is done. Thank you very much.
That will not be on our laughable pro.
No.
So you don't have to worry clicking on our name because we have access and we will not attach.
No, I slipped the engineer $5 to delete it. Act like you lost it. Act like you lost the
Actually,
file.
did you see the engineer during the recording?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he was like, "What the fuck?" And then he was laughing at what we were doing. Like he was obviously like, "Okay, these people are not taking it seriously. What the fuck?"
Yeah, I go, so there's like a speaker that if you're outside of this little studio in the hallway, you can hear us.
Yeah.
So I made some kind of reference. Oh, we should, act like we're telling some crazy story as people walk by. And he goes, "Oh yeah, like a nice juicy cunt." And I'm like, what? What are you doing?
Well, it was the second day of the expo. He's got another day to learn all the rest of the shit.
He's new.
So we're good.
You do have to. I remember our first show. We're using all the Yiddish and cunts. What the fuck? I ended up going in the pool and then at the hotel. And I realized, you know what? 15 minutes of anything, I'm done. Yay, the pool. This is nice. Okay.
I walked around.
I fake swam. I did a flip, and we're good. That's all it takes. You love it, though. You love the jacuzzi,
I
right?
love the jacuzzi.
Anybody join you?
Oh, there's always people talking in the jacuzzi. Apparently, because I guess it's adult time.
Right.
And even when the kids are around, parents act like the kids can't hear you in the jacuzzi, but they can.
Like what?
So this one, I went to a different hotel room afterwards, but in this one, I was sitting in the jacuzzi, and this woman came in with 3 of her kids, and the 3 kids came in before her.
Right.
Turns out one of them was like, she couldn't have even been 3, that 3 at most. I didn't see her because her brother was in my eye line, but as soon as she came in, she started drowning.
Oh.
And then the mom didn't see it until she was like, "Oh, shit," and she pulled her out, and obviously, like, the girl was confused and lost a little control because she just went into it.
Right.
And the mom goes, "Oh, real smart, going into the center of the jacuzzi, just coming into the jacuzzi like it's a pool."
And that's for your benefit, obviously.
Well, what does she know?
Right.
She's going into another tub. She's a 3-year-old. What? Why are you being sarcastic at her? She has no idea where she is. She almost drowned. She's still catching her breath.
Right.
What a piece of shit this mom is. Go fuck yourself. You fucked up. You didn't see your kid. It's fine. She's alive. We all see that she's alive.
Right.
Then she doubles down. And all 3 of her kids, again, it's a tub. It's like we're all just taking a shower together. It's very close. In earshot, she goes, "I should have got you guys a nanny." I'm like, your tattoos tell me you've never said the word nanny in front of, like, your kids. And the kids go, "Nani?" And I'm like, "Nope, that's not what your mom would say." It took her 3 times to be like, a babysitter. I'm like, yeah, you suddenly used the word nanny. Like, what? Where do you think you suddenly are?
It's for you.
It is for me. And basically she's saying, you kids are a pain in my ass, and I look so not cool right now. I'm like, yeah, you don't, because you're treating your kids like shit.
Right.
You have kids. It's nice.
This was in Orlando, Florida. I had alligator. It's pretty good. It's
I
like,
had it too.
It's like a soft chicken.
Yeah, it's fried, so whatever.
Right.
You're really taking risks. Fried alligator, like breaded and fried.
Yeah, I'll eat alligator. I've never met a nice alligator.
I'll eat anything breaded and fried.
You think alligators are just demonized like pit bulls? I've never met a nice alligator. So
they all seem to want to bite something off.
Yeah. Right.
But also, like, aren't they the gators down there? So, like, ordering gator to eat, and then they are the gators.
Yeah.
And then they drink Gatorade.
Yeah, it'd be like if we were the Pittsburgh Pizzas. You know? It's a little strange.
The New York pigs.
They have this ride in Orlando.
I was surprised that you wanted to go on this.
The Sky Racer.
See, this is
Sky
Keith.
Flyer.
This is Keith in a different place. He'll go, "I saw a thing that you're supposed to go on. There's 3 tourist things here. Let's go." Not like with joy, like, "Oh my God, I always wanted to do this thing." Like, this is the thing that this town does.
Yeah, I have to.
Let's go do the thing.
It's 450 feet tall. It's one of those swing rides. And to me,
It goes in a circle and swings you.
it's the scariest thing.
One of my favorite. Now I don't go on roller coasters anymore, so my thing now is those swing rides. It's so soothing to me. It tilts just enough. It's high just enough. But this thing you can see from the edge of the state. It's that tall.
It's the highest in the world. But you're right. It's a little relaxing because it's a swing, but it's also very, very scary because it's everything else.
Yes.
And on it, of course, I need the full experience. So I go to look down.
Yeah.
Whoa. I go to look up. Whoa. It's scary.
I can't believe you went on. Because I've been, what is that called? Parasailing? Where it's over the water with a boat.
Sure.
I've
Yeah.
been parasailing with you, and you almost fucking punched me in the face.
Yeah, because you thought leaning over and stuff was funny.
Yeah, I didn't know you were really scared. And then I did know you were really scared, and I continued, and I'm very sorry.
No, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
It's very unusual for you to be so frightened. I shouldn't be such a dick about
Well,
it.
people say to you, Keith, you're scared of heights? I'm normal. The higher you go, the scarier it gets. That's normal.
Right. That's why they boast that it's scary.
Yeah. Now, I was worried. This was like 1 in the morning. And
Well, we had to take a nap.
yeah, well, of course, you have to nap between the foods. But I'm on the...
Between the dinners. Oh, my gosh.
And the weather's like 70-some degrees, but I'm like, all right, you're going to go like 60 miles per hour up there. Am I going to be cold? Well, it turns out when you think you're about to die, you don't really feel it.
The weather's just normal.
Yeah, everything's fine. So I'm by myself, and I get off the swing, and an older lady is there, and she goes, oh, what's it like going by yourself? I'm thinking about doing it. Is it weird you didn't have somebody with you? And I said, even if you have somebody with you, you're in your own head probably. Also, when you get up there, you're a community. Everybody's cursing. Everybody's ready to die. And she puts her hand on her mouth like, oh, my goodness, everybody's cursing up there. And they are. It's just everybody. Shit, oh,
Really?
shit. Yeah.
What were you yelling?
Shit.
It's just shit. It's not fuck.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Shit. It happens to be shit. Out of all the words, everybody picks shit.
That's what a shit stirrer is.
Yeah. Oh, shit. So she giggles at that. And then I find out she happens to be visiting. She's on some church group.
Oh, shit.
But isn't that funny? She's like, oh, my goodness, the
Yeah.
cursing. Like,
I
that's-
love like your comfort in life is such that a curse word will throw your game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you never stir anything into anything, and the word shit blows your mind. Can you imagine just walking around your day, you're just smelling roses, and then somebody says shit, and your whole day is edgy now.
Right.
You're just fucking floating on shit.
But I didn't even tell her the word we said. I just said we're up there cursing.
Oh, that's how good her life is.
I think I will go up there. I hear there's cursing.
I might think of a curse when I get there.
Right.
Oh, goodness.
I
I
did.
haven't thought to curse in 10 years.
You think she's up there spinning and she's like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to say it. Shit.
I think she's up there going, fuck it, I'm a lesbian.
What?
You just get clarity up there, Keith.
Oh, I see. I see all your pictures online.
That's my life hack that you're looking at right there.
You got a kids meal.
Yes, I did, because kids are fat in America.
This. I'm looking at chicken parm. It's huge.
This kids meal. So, okay, let's go by the size of my fist. The chicken is 3 of my fists.
All right.
The pasta, same thing, takes up the same amount of space. So you got the cheese, the sauce, the round. That's the size of anybody's stomach. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's $7. When you buy the adult version, it's $20.
Those kids can't fit on that swing ride.
Nobody can. That's why it's wide. That's why people go by themselves.
Do you, when the food gets delivered to your room, do you pretend you have a kid in there? 1 second, little Johnny, who's definitely little.
You know what? I did get nervous ordering the kids meal because I have gotten turned down for kids meals in restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're like, no, that's for kids. It's like,
Right.
do we want to measure stomachs? Because I'll be okay.
He's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
We'll take a kid's meal right now.
Yeah, because they know that it's a life hack. But I've ordered like Bear Burger, their kids meal. Just like
It's a burger.
their kids meal comes with apples, a juice, French fries, chicken fingers, and like one other thing.
Yeah.
What?
That's going to be the new diet. You go off the kids' menu.
Yeah.
Anything you want to eat, it's got to be on a kids'
Yeah,
menu.
and you have to divide it into 2.
Here's another life hack. Hedda did get her weed
Oh, I did.
from one state to another. She puts it in regular cigarettes.
Don't tell everybody. My God.
So you put it in regular cigarettes, and then you undo the cigarettes, and then you make weed from it. Right?
You know what? We're going to leave it there. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I do it.
Little hack, right?
Well, once I got there, I was running out of weed pretty fast. And this I didn't know. So Keith is smoking weed with me during this weekend. And I didn't know that you felt guilty every time you smoked with me.
When you mentioned you were running out.
So I'll run out. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like exaggerating how much it's going to bother me. It would be nice because I know after this convention, I was going to sit on the beach for 2 days on Cocoa Beach because it's just 1 hour from Orlando.
Right.
So, yeah, it would be nice on vacation, smoke some weed, sit on the beach, eat some, just relax. But if I didn't have it, I'd still be on the beach, so we'd be fine.
But you did find it. You went to a stranger.
I did.
How do you judge who has weed?
This is the first time I've ever done that, so I am nervous, and I'm like keeping to myself. I am by myself. I've never been to Cocoa Beach before, but I look around and I notice, I think I can tell who the tourists are. The tourists are middle America. They're there with their family because we're close to Disney, so it's very much like like white middle America, very specific with their haircuts and sometimes they match clothing or something. It's very odd.
Okay.
And I saw these two hanging out. First of all, they're too young to have gone through like some cop program. It's too long. Like, you know.
Right.
Second, she's like almost wearing a thong. I don't know, you know. And they look like they're hanging out.
Okay.
And they look local. They don't look like they're trying to get anything done that day. You know, that's another thing with the tourists is they're on the beach, but no one's relaxing. They have everything, and it's like so thought out, but it's just a whirlwind of shit. They had a blanket and nothing.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So I go up to them, and I'm like, what's the
protocol for you giving me weed?
I was like, do you guys live here? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, already I'm good. They're not going to just be cops on the beach. They live here. And I said, how do you get weed around here? And they're like, perfect. She sells it. Like, I knew it. She also had, I know Christina Galston is from Florida.
Okay.
And she had a Christina Galston vibe.
Huh.
Like just a little spice.
Okay.
In some, I don't even know why. She's this little tiny girl who seems loud.
Right.
And it was perfect. She was so sweet. She was on time with her stuff.
Because with your busted leg, they can take your money and literally walk away.
I was like, yeah, this is my hotel room. She comes in. She's so little, but she could just push me.
Right.
And I'm limping. She's okay, take my money. And then I realized, okay, so I'm on the beach. She goes, yeah, I just have to get it from the guy, blah, blah, blah. And I go, do I have to have cash? Because I could, like, Venmo you.
Right.
And she goes, yeah, I Venmo. What the fuck? I love this country.
Right.
Yeah, so I bought some weed.
It was
the worst weed I've ever bought.
Yeah?
I've never been snotty. Like, I know that I'm a pothead, but it took me such a long time to admit that I'm a pothead because I don't do some of the pothead shit. Like when we get a new order, all the potheads will be like, oh, smell this. And I'll smell it, but I'll be like, honestly, it smells like weed.
Right.
You know? Now, this woman gave it to me, and I'm like, I don't smell it yet. I open the thing, and I'm like, it doesn't smell like weed. I put my nose in, and I'm like, this doesn't smell like weed.
Right.
This is the worst weed.
Did it get you high?
Yeah, it got me high, but it did get me it got me nervous. I don't know you. This
Right.
doesn't smell like weed. It doesn't smell like anything. So I get that it could be the worst weed. But then I remember, just as I lit up, I was about to inhale, I thought, oh, right, there's this synthetic weed, and Florida is a great space for that, you know?
What's that?
It actually like can kill you.
Oh.
It's really, really dangerous. And then I didn't, because I'm thinking like weed is never going to harm me. You know, I'm not buying pills that I don't know. I'm not buying
Right.
a powder that could be mixed in. But then I didn't think, right, synthetic weed is getting very big. So then now I start Googling. I'm chatting with Xerxes, like, oh, I'm about to smoke this. I go, what if this is synthetic weed? If I don't get back to you in like 10 minutes, you call the cops. Here's the number of the woman who gave me this, blah, 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 all this kind of shit. But I YouTubed it. And so here, children, pay attention. If you're buying weed, don't buy it already grounded up because, first of all, you got to ground it yourself so it could be fresh and blah, blah, blah. But the synthetic weed comes grounded. So because I got full buds, it can't be fake. So I relaxed.
All right.
And then I smoked the shit out of it.
I'd wonder if they just like cut off a bush. That's just a regular bush.
Right. I was like, what else looks like weed?
Right.
But then I got high.
Being on the beach, people, you know, they throw frisbees, this kind of thing. Anything? Are you nervous? Something's going to hit your knee?
A football. I was like, my eyes were closed. My headphones were on. My blanket's over the face.
And a football hit you?
A football hit me in the bad leg, right on the knee. Like, bash, right in there. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I squealed, and the guy just picked up his football and kept going. Maybe he said sorry, but no big deal. And I don't know how to tell him. Like, I didn't have my brace on me. I don't know how to tell. Like, that's my bad leg. What's the difference? I go, all right. They continue playing 5 feet from me. they think they adjusted, and as they throw the football, which, by the way, they don't play football, because if you played football, you would throw it right and you would catch it every once in a while.
Right.
You guys are the worst football players, which is fine, but that means you need more space between you and other people because you're not catching it. The guy ended up again right where in front of me, where you know how like you kind of keep adjusting because you catch it over here, and he's standing in front of me where if he misses, it goes on my head. So I actually had to tell these fucking morons, hey, can you, and I'm trying to be like a nice person. Of course, throw your football. Of course, it's going to hit me. It's fine, you know, but then you're not moving.
And what'd they say?
Oh, yeah, of course. And I'm like,
Of course.
but then move. You know, then they kind of half-ass move, and then they realize that, I don't know, then the game kind of broke up because they realized they're lazy fucks and they don't know how to play football.
So, of course, kind of stayed a little longer than I did. How was the flight on the way back?
Oh, it was really good. I got my window seat. I got squished in there with my leg, but it's fine. I could sleep on the window. And then as we're descending, we're coming down the last like 15 minutes, the kid next to me, he must, I don't know if he's like an overgrown 10-year-old or like a 14-year-old. You know that? So,
well, yeah, the chicken parm.
Oh, yeah. So it was like a chicken parm situation that he threw up all over oh my God.
He threw up all over.
Pretty much projectile vomited, like just.
And you can't move.
I can't move. They start getting up. They won't let them get up. The flight attendants are yelling, sit down, sit down. He's just, this poor kid, he was such a sweetheart about the whole thing. He was in shock, like, because it took him by surprise. First of all, he threw up and it went down. I'm like, okay. All right. I take the barf bag. I hand it to him. They're apologizing. I'm like, nobody needs to apologize for anything. Shit like this happens. But I'm like, open up the bag.
Right.
Prepare. It doesn't end here. The first one took you by surprise.
Right.
The second one, you might not be done. And of course, he wasn't ready for the second one. The second one was worse. The second one was all over the screen in front of him, all over everything. It almost like ricocheted into like the one in front of him. Smelled like vinegar. I was just like, okay. Got a little bit on my brace.
Oh.
Yes. And I was just like, all right, cool.
And Kendra goes, now you can start apologizing. Apologize now.
And the other thing is that it's hard. Obviously, he got it not only on the things in front of him, but on his own seat. And I have to get out of everything on one leg. So now I can't walk in the floor in front of his seat.
Right.
You know, and I can't walk on his chair. So I got to float over a chair with my legs straight.
What a trip.
But the flight attendant gave me a bag of coffee for the smell. You know what? That worked.
What do you mean?
She goes, she understands, you know, this happens all the time. So apparently to mask the smell, because like the people next to you, you're dying. All you're doing is smelling someone's throw up.
Right.
Luckily, we were about to leave, so it's fine. You hold on to a bag of coffee, it kind of masks the smell. So the coffee smell is more pronounced. Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, by the way, they don't throw that bag out after. So that's a little disgusting.
I threw it on the ground, so good luck.
All right, let me mention this. This is good timing. Talkspace. It's therapy on your phone. I do like this idea. Instead of seeing a therapist, let's say once a week in person, when you have the problem or the anxiety, right away you can interact on your phone with the person.
Yeah, that's the thing is we've spoken to people who go like once a week, which is really great, of course, very cleansing and a good ritual and all that stuff. But a lot of times they're like, oh, I had nothing to say. And then as soon as I was out of their office, I got a message that I got fired.
Yeah.
Now you got to wait another week.
Talkspace is fantastic. It's online therapy. Take care of your mental health. And it's actually less expensive than seeing somebody in person. You would think the opposite, but it's less expensive and it's whenever you want.
And the thing is, I think sometimes it's easier to write it down at first, you know, and you're interacting in the way that you're used to exchanging information, which is typing with your thumbs.
And of course, they have professionals that know how to deal with kids also. Talkspace has more than 3,000 licensed therapists.
That kid's going to need some Talkspace because, you know, he's just sitting like, that story's forever.
He's the throw-up kid.
Yeah, he's the throw-up kid.
And the whole plane knows it. 3,000 licensed therapists who are experienced in addressing the challenges that we all face.
3,000 therapists. You don't think one is good for you?
To match with your perfect therapist for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy, go to Talkspace.com. Make sure to use the code KATG, and you'll get $45 off your first month. And, of course, you show your support for this show. That's KATG at Talkspace.com.
You don't even have to leave your house, which I think is, the biggest part of it. It's kind of like going to the gym. As soon as you're at the gym, you're fine. You could do some shit. Like, you will get things done, but it's getting to there.
Yeah, and your life gets so much better when you talk things out. And, there's things you can't even tell your best friend. That's what's great about this.
That's actually, I know we always joke, but that is important. Like there were spaces that I needed to go to where people didn't know me, so I could say the quote shameful thing. And as soon as I said it, it stops being shameful. It takes the edge off of it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just normal.
I guarantee podcasting helped me so much.
Yeah.
In fact, we use, by the way, Heil microphones, and they were at this convention.
Yeah, they always are. They're so much fun.
Yeah, and so they have us sign up with some of the people that use their product, and Keith and the Girl is on that with a quote that we sent them. They said, "Hey,
we feel like rock stars. Thank you, Heil."
Yeah, we have a picture for you. Can you give us a quote we can put on this poster board? And I go, "Yeah, you want good audio, so always seek Heil." They're like, maybe try again. And so I gave them another one.
They have a really good sense of humor, though.
Yeah.
So we actually could send them things like that.
Number 1 movie of the weekend, no surprise here, Captain Marvel. So you think like, all right, guys can be superheroes, but can girls be superheroes? Yes, they can, turns out.
Well, Batman bought his way into it.
Yeah.
So apparently you don't even have to have superpowers. You just have to have super money.
I won't give spoilers, but
Batman bought his superpower.
Well, you know how Captain Marvel, no joke,
a butler
got her superpower? She believed in herself. I'm not exaggerating.
So she's the only woman. So that's why there's not a lot of women superheroes. That's why you guys keep us down, because we'll turn into superheroes.
Well, there is a lot of pressure for
anything.
Well, for a woman superhero movie, because the last one, if not the only one,
is the Ghostbusters movie.
Well, you know what? I hated that movie.
I know, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one I didn't care for, and I'm like, no, it feels important, and I should like it.
How do I tell you that I would have hated it if it was all men? Like,
right.
Before watching it.
Like Wonder Woman. This, you want to like that because
she's wonderful.
Right, but she's a fucking moron. She's interacting with regular people on Earth, and she doesn't know how to get out of a revolving door because it keeps spinning.
You've said the same thing about Superman, for sure.
Yeah.
He's such a big old dummy.
Right.
I mean, I can't, with Superman, when he's wearing his glasses, it's like he's dumber.
But I can't help seeing these superheroes and wonder how they have sex. Every single one. Oh. Did Superman's sperm blow through somebody's back before he controlled his powers? He was a kid. He was on Earth. He was a child, if you remember. And, I read the books. But he was a child, so that means there was a masturbation phase. Did he blow a hole through the barn?
These are the important questions.
Okay, like, does Captain Marvel's pussy light up? Does it get all hot and heated before she learns how to control it? All these superheroes, I wonder.
Her pussy's superpower, she can turn off her uterus whenever she wants.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But did they have super periods? Like, I cannot be around a superhero once a month.
Oh, my God.
It's intense.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
See? Can't even talk about it.
You can't even talk about it.
That's the thing with these superheroes. We got to play. You date a superhero, you got to play dumb. You can't even act. Like, no, if you date a superhero.
You think superhero men like super rape or just regular rape?
Oh, that's a fair question.
You think the Invisible Man is on the up and up?
I stay till after the credits. They never acknowledge that. Dear Keith and Chemda.
Me.
I would love to come this year to your annual stand-up show. Do you have dates and locations? We need to book a flight and an Airbnb.
Yes, and tickets are going up probably at the end of this week or close to that.
Okay.
So, April 13th, April 14th, and April 15th.
Oh.
On the 13th, it'll be in Queens. Should we tell them what it is?
Sure.
Okay, on the 13th, it's a launch party at Keith's house. Very, very, very limited amount of people. We're throwing a party. Details will be in the ticket. I'm a little excited about that because I like hanging out. And then Sunday, we're having 2 game shows back-to-back. That's going to be in Brooklyn, in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. So Astoria is Saturday, Astoria, Queens, Williamsburg, Brooklyn on Sunday, and then Williamsburg, Brooklyn on Monday again.
Okay.
So Williamsburg and Astoria, which is like really close to each other.
So we're having parties. We're doing my annual stand-up show. Big good time, and we'll give you all the information very soon.
Yeah, and always like follow us on social media because sometimes we give breaks like, early bird and things like that. So follow us on social media. And the more followers we have, this is so stupid, but this is how the world works. The more followers we have on social media, the more we're able to do things like live shows and, giveaways and things like that.
There you have it. All right.
And it's costing you nothing.
It's good to be back. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Follow me with my thirst traps.